Hello, Zerka.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. And you? How is here in your new home? Are you okay? Are you
In general, yes.
in general? Yes. Okay. So it's most important thing
Yeah.
to be. And I will show that in Madrid, in Spain, next July. Okay. So from your point of view, which are the most important subjects to work with people now?
Well, it depends on what country you're talking about and what culture you're talking about. It varies. And also, for example, in France, if you work in the north, it's one kind of thing. If you work in the south, it's very different. If you work some, every department practically has a different culture. So you have to be not knowing, but you have to be open and sensitive to find out what the right way is for them. At one time, Moreno suggested, like in Cuba, start with song and dance.
Of course, yes, because they have rhythm. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And
So there's no flat answer that covers them all.
yes, yes. And do you can you tell me more about the similarities between group therapy and psychodrama?
Yeah. So group psychotherapy doesn't have to be done in a therapeutic setting. But by that I mean you might do group psychotherapy in a hospital with a large group of people because the hospital can't afford to have them all having psychodrama individually. And in some cases, it is better for the patients in groups because they understand each other, even if they're very crazy and different from the other ones. They, should I say, they're more accepting of craziness than the usual world out there is. I found when I worked with the patients in Beacon that I learned whole new worlds. It was very educational, very instructive. And these people came not only from different parts of this country, but from different parts of Europe. So the group is like a family, should be like a family. And one thing I haven't emphasized enough, I think, Moreno, Freud talked about transference. That was the working tool, relationship to the therapist, and it had to be transference. Problem with transference is that you can't always cut it off, even when the therapy's ended, because it is largely an imaginary thing. It can stay you and influence you the rest of your life. And yet it cannot always be good for you, analyzing you. I mean, these people who analyze every step in their life, they have a horrible life. So the group became very important as opposed to the individual treatment. Not merely because it was economically correct. It was better. It worked better. It was more like life. And then Moreno discovered that besides transference doesn't cover the whole world, only that particular relationship, or any other fixative relationship. So he said there is another basis for relating. It's called tele, T-E-L-E, and it includes all the transference in the world. It means feelings at a distance. For instance, you and I have tele. You're in Paris and I'm here. So we don't always need to be together to communicate. I communicate with a lot of people in the air and on email. So people should start looking at what their tele relations are in their home life, in their private life, home life and work life, on 3 levels. And sometimes they flow into one. For therapists, work And therapy is the same thing. You can't break it off. Well, transference is useful anywhere. You know, you may go into a grand uh, store and you walk into a department that you need to be, and you immediately feel uncomfortable. You go to another one, and so without your knowing it, you're reaching into the group invisibly and know what it's like. And if the tele doesn't fit, that person should be in another group where the tele might fit. It's another advantage of having groups, if you can arrange to have it so that if patients have outgrown a group, they can go to another group and choose to be there or not, or be offered other groups. So tele functions not only in the hospital, it functions all over the world. There's even a tele for space. Like I had to overcome my negative tele for this space because I had such positive tele with my house in Charlottesville. And also very positive feeling. When I think of home in America, it's Beacon, New York, because I lived there 58 years. It's a lifetime. So we have tele for spaces. We even, and for objects, there are some room or some tele in your, some objects in your life, your important immediate life, personal life, the objects that are very important to you. They can't relate to you, but you relate to them. So you have a tele for that object. You can feel into the object. You could even roll reverse with the object.
Yes.
And so I think the first thing people to learn, not only in groups, but just to learn in life, and I think psychodrama reveals that and activates it. Where is the tele between these people? Are they positively connected? Is one positive and the other one negative? Are they really negative and covering it up? So tele has many levels. And psychodrama is a place where these levels fall away. Because psychodrama is a world in itself. And it's not only a world in itself, it's in your mind. You can't just simply empty your mind because you've had transference. It doesn't happen, it doesn't work. But you go, you know something, I have done psychodramas on my own. I don't remember one of them. I do psychodramas with my students or my patients. I don't remember them. For my patients, I remember them. My students, 30, 40 people at a time, I don't remember the specific psychodrama. They watch, and they are learning what I'm doing and how I'm approaching it. But I haven't the faintest idea what I'm doing. When some people come here and tell me, I remember when you did this and this. Did I? Because it's so ingrained in me, I don't even think about it. It's become me, and I have become it. So we're really integrated together. People tell me that I live that way too. One of my Israeli friends said to me, but your whole life is a psychodrama. And that's encouraging. And people know they don't have to shy away from it because they're shy. Even shy people have relationships. They just hide them. And you can find them out. I remember we once had a student who was came from a North American, the New England part of America, old families, and they really are different. They're more like the British, very internalized. But once they allow themselves to be opened up, they're amazing. It's amazing. They live it internally. You can't share it with anybody that way. The difference is they have to learn to share that inner life. And they can only do that with people with whom they have tele. They're really very specific in their tastes. Not everybody, but I found a few like that.
But I think it's very important what you just said. We need to teach people to share.
Yeah. Yep.
Because
we can't live without sharing.
it's not immediately, it's not instinctual.
Man is a group animal. And children begin to learn it when they go to kindergarten, and they love it. I remember when I took my son, 30 months old, to a play group. And one day I came to pick him up, about 2.5 hours. And one of the mothers came to me and said, other boys, the mother of another boy, she came to me and she said, is Jonathan all right now? She had been away a little bit. I said, yes, he had a mild cold, but how did you know? Well, she said, Teddy, my son, who was half a year older than Jonathan, when I asked him, did you have fun in school today, play school? He said, no. Oh, why not? Jonathan wasn't there. He already organized the play when he was 30 months old. It was in him. So the sooner you can appreciate, I think, tell parents, appreciate and love this unique being you have there. You may not understand, but love it. You don't have to understand everything. I know I understand a lot of people that can't say I love them, but you've got to love them. Go into their world and love them. So you saw how I did that in my book, that chapter on Jonathan. So I tell you, that was not only Jonathan's growth, it was mine.
Of course.
Yeah. So best thing to teach them perhaps, role reversal. First thing you do, role reversal. And do it in twos, not in front of all. Everybody chooses a partner, and they each have to agree. Because if one doesn't agree to that person, they have to go around and agree again, and find another one. That's where Taylor comes in. Later on, they'll be more open, and they have to. I make them walk around, not sit down, and share whatever they want to share. One day, a group came back, and one young man said to me, wow. And he looked at his double and said, you really got there. And he said to me, I have a neck ache. And he got my neck ache. I said, well, and you'd better take it off from him now. So that can happen. And you can feel the pain in another person whom you've never seen before and are not going to see again. We don't realize how much we take in the way of other people's pain too. So we need therapy every once in a while. Clean it all out. People used to ask me, are you tired? I said, tired from what? From psychodynamics. I said, but that's my life. If you're tired of your life, you're a different person. A depressed person gets tired of their life. Psychodynamics doesn't fatigue me. Usually, it buoys me up. Sometimes I can't get to sleep because I'm so warmed up.
Really?
When I was younger, yeah. I mean, I can't sleep now because I've had so many operations, surgery. The anesthesia has knocked out my sleep cycle. But I mean, naturally. And Jael and I worked late into the night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, some nights. And it didn't bother me. I didn't get tired. This is one type of work that shouldn't make you tired. It should make you thoughtful. But that's not the same thing as tired.
To make you what?
Thoughtful.
What's thoughtful? Ah, okay. Yes. No, it's in action.
And it stays with you, that thoughtfulness.
What are your new projects?
My new project?
Yes.
Well, I don't have anything specific, but I have something nice I discovered. Therapy at a distance.
Hmm.
I know someone who works with very disturbed children and doesn't always know what to do. So she brings me one particular case, and she tells me all about it, and she tells me what she does with that patient, but I don't want to interfere with what she's doing. So I can only suggest she go a little bit further. And in this particular case that I'm thinking of, in 6 months the child was entirely different. So you can do it at a distance. That's one of my favorite projects now, because where can I go? So treatment at a distance is ideal. My husband used to treat people on the phone.
Me too.
Phone therapy.
Me too.
Sure.
From Mexico.
But that was before
Paris.
anybody else did it.
No, no.
Nobody
of course.
talked on the phone
Of
about
course.
their problems.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, my husband started all this in 1938, before anybody else did. A lifetime. We are celebrating his 25th birthday, this year. All around the world. It's very nice. And 3 books about him are coming out this year.
Okay. And do you know if he works with the, I don't know if you can say intercultural exchange. Moreno was interested between the relationships between cultures because, yes,
Different cultures.
different, but to match, in French we say interculturel. I don't know how can we say in English. Interculturel, between the cultures.
Oh, yeah.
Does he works with this subject?
Never any problem.
No?
Psychodrama is universal.
Yes,
We can do it in China. You know it's universal. India. That's where it's going.
Yes, but to put different people from different cultures together. Yes. That's intercultural.
Well, I'm sure he did. He did some role reverse.
All right.
Hello.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Somebody here? Yeah, she a visitor.
You need... Excuse me. Can you cut off a minute?
Just